Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'm going to show you how I make my simple breakfast burritos. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is some bacon. The way I like to cook my bacon for my burritos is to cut it into small pieces and put it in a dry pan to cook over medium heat, and I'm just going to let this cook until it's getting nice and brown and crispy. A good tip: when you have a lot of bacon, you can freeze it. So sometimes I'll freeze the whole slice of bacon, or I'll cut up the bacon like this and then freeze it. So when I'm ready for it, I just pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds and then put it in my pan to cook. I forgot to mention, this is 7 slices of bacon that I cut up. As you can see, I have a lot of bacon grease, so I'm going to use my paper towel trick. If you've been watching me for a while, then you'll see me do this. So what I'll do, I'll use a dry piece of paper towel and use it to soak up the oil. Not a dry piece, a clean piece. Use that to soak up the oil and then just throw that away. I'm going to do this 2 times because this have a lot of grease and I don't want to eat all of that. If you want it, you can eat it, but I don't like all the grease, so I'm still going to take some more out. Now that my bacon is nice and crispy to how I like it, I'm going to add 6 beaten eggs to that. I still left a little bit of the oil in there because I don't want this to be too dry. If you don't have any oil in there, it's going to be dry, so you want to leave a little bit in there. Stir it and let it cook. Right about when the eggs are almost finished, you'll want to turn off the stove. You don't want to overcook them or make them too dry or burn them. That's the worst. That don't taste good. I'm using some homemade tortillas, so if you're interested in my homemade tortilla recipe, I'm going to leave it linked below for you. I didn't want to make the tortilla and go through everything here because I already have videos on that, so you can check them out if you're interested. Here I have some refried beans, so if you want to see how I make some delicious beans from scratch, I'm going to leave the video link below, and I'm also going to leave the video link below on how I make my refried beans. The way I like to do it is take a spoon of the beans and spread it over the tortilla, but don't go all the way to the edge because you don't want it to come out. Then you're going to take a generous amount of the egg and bacon mixture and put that in there, and then roll it up. The way I like to wrap it up is before I put it in aluminum foil, I like to put it in a piece of paper towel first, so that way it doesn't sweat, and then wrap it up. If you have any leftovers, you can put it in the fridge and leave it there overnight. The next day, just unwrap it and put it in the microwave, and it will be just as good. It won't be soggy or anything, it will still be good. There are so many ways you can make this, but another simple way I like to do this is if I'm not using beans, I'll just add some cheese to the bacon and egg, and then it will just be a bacon and egg and cheese burrito. This is just so simple and so good, and you can make it however you want. Another good tip is if you're using a store-bought tortilla, to cook it again. So what I'll do with the tortilla is put it in a pan and let it get brown and puffy. So it's almost like a fresh tortilla, but not really, but it will taste better. But if you've ever had homemade tortillas, fresh homemade tortillas, you'll never go back to store-bought. It's just so good. That's how I grew up, with fresh homemade tortillas. To make this extra special for my hubby, I like to write a note on there or draw something. This is something we've been doing ever since we've been married, and that's a long time. But I always write a note on there or draw something, and he loves it. I don't do this all the time, but only when I give him food to take to work in aluminum foil, then I'll put a message on there. So whenever he eats it, he'll message me and let me know what his guess is. What makes this fun and interesting is because I can't draw to save my life. I mean, I really can't draw anything. Maybe I should practice my drawing, just for this time when I need to put a note on there. But it's always a joke, and he loves it. He loves when I draw things because he said he don't know how my brain works because he never know what I'm going to draw. And I say I'm just as surprised as you because I don't know what I'm going to draw. I don't have it planned or anything. I just go with the flow. It's however I'm feeling at the moment, that's what he'll get. Maybe there were a few times in between that I didn't put a note on there, and he was very sad and disappointed. So I always make sure I do it. Sometimes it's just the little things. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope this gave you some ideas. And put a little note on there for someone. It doesn't have to be your spouse, it could be anybody that you're making it for. Just put a note on there and it will make their day. I'll talk to you in my next one. Take care. Bye.